you cry for me, 'cause I'm going to Louisiana with a B-A-N-J-O on my knee. Well, now it rained so hard the night I left. The wind blew a terrible storm, so I'm heading on up that old muddy river where the sun goes in. 'Cause I'm going to Louisiana with a B-A-N-J-O on my knee.
Ming, 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 ming. I remember when I first discovered what water was. Now, I don't think you will understand what I mean. I've always known what water was. Its vitality and ability to create life has been taught in science classes since as far back as I can remember. Every living thing needs it, from plants to animals to the germs that make you sick. Love those, so they're really good. Humans are made up of 75% water. That's how I married Kathy. She already loves 75% of me. Water travels from place to place in the earth and the clouds and the aqueducts because the whole world thrives on it. The whole world needs it. So, did you know bodies of water hold phytoplankton, whom without our whole food web would collapse? Phytoplankton have oxygen, and without the oxygen, how are we supposed to even breathe? So, phytoplankton are really good.
Okay,
they are
stop.
really
Stop. Who even are you? You can't just like walk in here and crash a party and talk about water. Like, what?
My name is Bunsen. Burner. And as I was saying, I remember the first time I figured out what water was. I was deployed in Iran back in '08. I was supposed to go undercover to see what those darn Russians were up to. Ever since they were attacked by the Fire Nation, the Jews weren't safe. Rome was expanding, and expanding fast. It was my duty to stop the Russians from taking the Alamo and seceding along with the rest of the South. Going undercover in Iran was tough. The climate was so hot and dry, I got thirsty fast. There was no water to be found.
They called me Ringstein.
Do you happen to have any water? I'm parched.
You're in luck, child. I do.
That water was the best water I've ever had in my whole life. If I could marry that water, I would. Don't tell Kathy. I wouldn't mind learning about water and all the cool things and the way it is and...
You say you want to learn about water?
That water was the best water I've ever had. It probably saved me. I know it saved me. This feeling, I feel reborn. Water, tell me more. Water, power, I need more power! Ah!
Well, I know a man. You've probably heard of him. His name is King Neptune.
King Neptune? How do you know him? I am so jealous right now.
He's my dentist.
Well, small world. Can you point me to where he lives? I'd love to talk to him.
Well, he lives all the way in the Pacific. And you don't need to walk that far. I'll just call him.
It was like SpongeBob. I was SpongeBob, the main character.
Hey, dude. I got a friend here that's dying to meet you.
Ooh, put him on.
There you go.
Hey, it's me, your biggest fan.
I'll stop it.
I'm a noob to the water fandom. Really, I follow you until you love me. Paparazzi. Baby, you'll be famous. Chase you down. Paparazzi. Tell me all you know about water. I'm thirsty.
Well, that's kind of a weird thing to be obsessed over, but okay. It'd be easier if you were here in person so I could show you as well as tell you.
What? What the frick? How did you do that? My molecules are tingling right now. Wow.
I'm Neptune.
Wow. Are those your pets?
Yes, they are. So you say you want to learn about water? Yeah, check this out. Here, I have a bowl of water, pepper, and a dish of dish soap.
Wait, dude, everyone's seen this project before.
Hey Katie, we're getting a good grade, okay? I've dedicated my life to water, and there's no way in Atlantis that I'm going to risk Roessler yelling at me for not covering my bases, because that's happened to me once, and it sure as Atlantis not gonna happen again. I came here to have a good time and learn about water properties. I can't afford to get any more passive-aggressive comments, or I'll start crying, and salt water doesn't taste very good. So, like I was saying, I here have a bowl of water, some pepper, and a dish full of dish soap. With these, I'm going to demonstrate to you surface tension. Surface tension.
Wait, surface tension, isn't that like the surface of a liquid that allows it to resist an external force based on the cohesive properties of the molecules?
Yeah.
So like you're just pouring the pepper, and then we're just gonna take the dish soap.
Yeah, you want to cover the water with pepper, and then you put your finger.
This isn't gonna cause any adverse reactions?
No, you just tap it in, and magic. Now I'm gonna show you what happens when water reaches 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
What happens? It's so cold. How did you do that?
I froze it.
So, water's like more dense when it's frozen because it's a solid, right?
No, it's actually one of the very few liquids that when it becomes a solid, it's less dense.
And that's because of what? The weak hydrogen bonds?
This experiment shows what water vapor is. When I take the cold water and put it in the heated pan, it balls up like this, and it makes a really cool looking thing.
Crazy.
So this happens because the layer of water vapor holds up the droplets. This is called the Lindenfrost effect.
They're like little pop rocks.
Oxygen draws electrons to itself very strongly. A chemist would say it is highly electronegative. The hydrogen atoms, much less electronegative, lose some electron density to the oxygen. The oxygen side of water is more negative, and the hydrogen side is more positive. This makes the oxygen and hydrogen atoms stick together in their bond. This is an unusually strong attraction called hydrogen bonding, which refers not to the hydrogen bonded to oxygen inside each molecule, but rather to the attraction of partial charges between the molecules. Now I will show you how electrical charges act with water. The charge on the comb attracts the molecules of water in the stream. Because the molecules in the stream can be moved easily, the stream bends towards the comb. When you comb your hair with an Allen comb, both the comb and your hair become charged. The comb and your hair acquire opposite charges. Because the individual hairs acquire the same charge, they repel each other. Perhaps you noticed that after running an Allen comb through your hair, the hairs on your head stood on end. This is a result of your hairs repelling each other because they are charged. If you think that's cool, wait till you see what happens when water reaches 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Wait, what happens? It boils!
Wow, that was great. For the first time in forever. Hey, no, what's wrong?
Well, it's just that boiling water is actually kind of dangerous for me because I'm already filled with so much water energy to do magic with. If I come close contact with boiling water molecules, things can get a little risky.
You're being a babby. You know what? I double dog dare you to touch it.
No.
Touch it good.
No.
I triple dog dare you.
Okay.
You got to go to the lonesome valley.
Where am I?
You're in the great beyond.
What? What happened to King Neptune?
He's dead, Sugar Bop.
What do you mean?
Well, you dared him, and he deaded. King Neptune's power was so great he couldn't take it near all those hustling and bustling water molecules. I'm the universal solvent. I'm the savior. Some people also call me another word that starts with an S because I'm attracted to so many elements. What can I say? It's in my genes.
So, why are you even called the universal solvent?
Well, that's a name people sometimes call water because it dissolves more substances than any other liquid, but I took the name for myself.
Really too much information for me to handle. I need some electrolytes. Actually, what even is an electrolyte?
Well, electrolytes are substances that produce ions in a solution, and a non-electrolyte does not desiccate at all in a solution, and therefore does not produce any ions. Non-electrolytes are typically polar covalent substances that do dissolve in water as molecules instead of ions. Sugar is a good example of a non-electrolyte.
Am I dead?
No, Sugar Bop, you were given a second chance.
Wait, like really? No way. I learned a lot. Can you take me back to Earth now? It's been quite a day.
You don't know enough about water yet.
What do you mean? Yes, I've learned enough about water. I've learned so much about water. Just can you take me back to Earth, okay? Because I'm done learning about water. I'm over this. I just want to go home, have a good bubble bath.
No. Effluence is a spontaneous loss of water by a hydrated salt, which occurs when the aqueous vapor pressure of the hydrate is greater than the partial pressure of the water vapor in the air. Desiccant is a hygroscopic substance that induces or sustains a state of dryness, desiccation in its vicinity. Commonly encountered pre-packaged desiccants are solids that absorb water. Do you know what H2O is? It's the water chemical symbol. Heat diffusion is the amount of heat necessary to melt or freeze 1 mole of a substance at its melting point to convert 1 gram of ice at 0 degrees Celsius to 1 gram of water at 0 degrees Celsius. 334 joules of heat must be absorbed by the water. Colloids are evenly mixed solutions, but their particles are too large to be considered homogeneous mixtures, which are also the same throughout. Colloids show the Tyndall effect. The Tyndall effect is a scattering of light as beam passes through a colloid. Suspensions are heterogeneous mixtures containing solid particles that are sufficiently large for sedimentation. Unlike colloids, suspensions eventually settle. An example of this would be dust in the air or oil shaken up in water. A solute is a minor component in a solution dissolved in the solvent. The greater the electronegativity difference, the more ionic the bond is. Bonds that are partly ionic are called polar covalent bonds. Non-polar covalent bonds with equal sharing of the bond electrons arise when the electronegatives of the two bonds are atoms that equal. The specific heat is the amount of heat per unit mass required to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Vapor pressure is the pressure exerted by a vapor in thermodynamic equilibrium with its condensed phases, solid or liquid, at a given temperature within a closed system. The equilibrium vapor pressure is an indication of a liquid's evaporation rate. The vapor pressure of a liquid varies with its temperature. A calorie with a capital C is the energy needed to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of water through 1 degree Celsius. It's equal to 1,000 small calories and often used to measure the energy values of foods. Water is good at storing heat, an attribute referred to as heat capacity, and thus helps maintain the temperature set point of the body despite changes in the surrounding environment. Precisely, water has to absorb 4.184 joules of heat for the temperature of 1 gram of water to increase 1 degree Celsius. The SI unit of heat capacity is joule per Kelvin, and the dimensions form is here.
Heat of vaporization is the enthalpy change required to transform a given quantity of a substance and from a liquid into a gas at a given pressure. The solution process. Water breaks the positive and negative charge pieces apart and surrounds them. Water chemically combines with the substance in such way that can be removed as by heating without substantially changing the chemical composition of the substance is called the water of hydration. Water of hydration is chemically combined with other molecules to form a hydrate mineral that is easily removed through heating. Brownian motion is the erratic random movement of microscopic particles in a fluid as a result of continuous bombardment from molecules in a surrounding medium.
Water is transparent in the visible electromagnetic spectrum, so aquatic plants can live in water. Water is small, common, naturally occurring electron donor, which means it can be used in light reactions of photosynthesis, making complex multicellular life possible. Water expands when frozen. In particular, ice floats on water, so the top surface of a lake freezes first in winter, providing insulation for the lower regions and enabling life to survive.
Man, those were some good tunes. I feel so alive. I've learned so much. That was some pretty below par rapping. I will take down the government. I will vote Hillary. Solvent, can you take me back to Earth?